What's good, YouTube? It's your boy ChicoFilo here, man, back with another video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys a brand new 2K24 build. And this build here is something special, man. It is a all-in-one guard that can practically do anything you wanted to on the court. It's got the shooting, it's got the finishing, it's got the playmaking, it's got the defense, and it also has very good physicals. But anyway, without further ado, man, this is our build right here. It is a point guard, 6'3", 188 pounds. 6'9" wingspan, and these right here are the attributes. And before we talk about them, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you guys want to see more 2K24 content. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below as well throughout the video as we go, and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. As you guys know, in my previous build video, I mentioned that I like having two separate builds. I usually use one build, my 6'1", for the threes, for the Pro-Am Arena, for the rec, and then I have a separate twos build, which is usually a 6'3" or a 6'4". However, when I compared the stats, the attributes, and the badges that the 6'4" and the 6'3" gets, the 6'3" was definitely much better. So right here, I've put the 6'3" that I made next to the 6'4", which I initially actually started off on. And as you can notice right away, there are very, very big differences. I felt like the 6'4" was much more limited. I couldn't really keep it as well balanced as I wanted it to. I even tried going an inch taller to a 6'5" just to compare it. And honestly, what I noticed was for a point guard, the taller that you went, the more limited it actually became, and the harder it became to create like a balanced build. And immediately, as soon as I went down to the 6'3", I realized this was actually going to be much better for me. I honestly get better defense on the 6'3" over the 6'4" as well. And yeah, just like that, I stuck with the 6'3". Okay, so starting with our finishing, as you guys can see, we have an 83 driving dunk, and these right here are the badges that we currently get. We have bronze posterizer, which we actually got from our 70 vertical as well. This is also another requirement if you want to get most of the dunk animations that you want for a build like this, so this is very important to have. We get silver slithery, which you get at an 82 driving dunk, and then we get silver precision dunker, which is actually unlocked at an 83 driving dunk, and this is the reason why I decided to go past the 82 to an 83. Mike Wang has also spoken a lot about the new redesign of this new stick timing for the layups and the dunks, so I think this was definitely something worth getting. And on top of that, you also have these other badges right here: bunny, whistle, aerial wizard, spin cycle, and two-step. Anyway, next up we have our shooting. As you guys can see, I went with a pretty high mid-range as well as a pretty high three-pointer. Reason behind this being is because, number one, I want to be able to shoot from everywhere on the floor. If you guys remember like the 6'3" or 6'4" play shots from 2K20 running the twos, where you could essentially just fade every mid-range, every three-pointer, but also still have some slashing, that is pretty much the type of build that I'm going for. And right here, as you guys can see, we went with an 86 mid-range shot. And the reason for this being is because back at Community Day when I made this build, you actually needed an 86 to reach gold midi magician, as you guys can see right here. However, when they dropped the updated badge requirements, it says right here that you now only need an 84 to unlock gold midi magician. So once the game actually comes out, we can probably tweak this and put it down to an 84, which means that we can probably put some of those points into a different attribute on this build. So yeah, just keep that in mind when the game comes out. Just make sure you pay attention to all of the badge requirements. The three-point shot that I went with on this build is a 90. And as you guys can see, these are all the badges that we get. And yes, we only get limitless range out of bronze, but honestly, for the twos court, that is way more than enough. You're not really going to be shooting from half court when you're playing the twos. And honestly, for my playstyle on the twos, like, I'm not really going to be shooting that deep anyway. So I don't think I'm even going to be triggering this badge enough anyway for me to maintain silver if I was to go for a silver limitless. But anyway, the main reason that we went with a 93 is because this is where you unlock gold blinders. And this right here is a very important badge for the twos. This badge works for both mid-range shots and three-pointers. And we also have silver agent 3, silver deadeye, and all these badges at gold. And honestly, overall, this is the perfect amount of shooting for a build like this. Moving on to our playmaking, we have a 77 pass accuracy, and this is actually where you unlock bronze needle threader. If I was to make a guard for the threes or the fives, I definitely would go for a higher pass accuracy, at least an 85. However, like I said, this is strictly a twos build, so I think a 77 is more than enough. And now for the ball handle, we went with a 92, and this ball handle right here in combination with our 83 speed with ball and our acceleration, we unlock gold blow by, and we also unlock gold speed booster. On top of that, with a 92 ball handle, we also unlock gold handles for days, and we also get silver killer combos, gold ankle breaker, and gold triple strike. Very, very well rounded for our playmaking, and obviously with a 92 ball handle, you should be able to unlock most of the SIGs that you need as well. Now, our defense, as you guys can see, I'm actually going to start with our perimeter D right here first. Perimeter D, we have a 75. Reason for this is because that is when you unlock bronze clamps. But once again, another very important change. I made this build at Community Day, and the only requirement for bronze clamps was purely your perimeter defense attribute. However, for the new badge requirements for clamps that they dropped, you actually now need strength as well. You need at least a 45 strength so you can unlock bronze clamps. So to be able to cater towards this, we can just bring our stamina down to 96. This honestly doesn't even change much. We don't lose any badges from doing so. And like I said earlier, we can drop our mid-range down to an 84 because now you can unlock Midi Magician Gold with an 84 instead of an 86. And that should hopefully give us enough to put our strength up to a 45. I would definitely say that it is vital that you go for a 45 strength on this build. It is very important that you're able to unlock this badge because it is honestly going to help you out so much on defense. Anyway, on top of that, we also have some solid defensive badges like ankle braces, challenger, fast feet, pick dodger, workhorse, and off-ball pest. And as you guys can see, the only badge that we're missing out on is 94 feet, which is actually unlocked at a 76 perimeter defense. However, this is a badge that allows defenders to harass and bother ball handlers in the backcourt. So this badge isn't going to be useful for the twos anyway. However, if you're someone that's wanting to make a 6'3" for the threes court, I would definitely try to tweak this up a little bit so that I can get 76 and get all of these defensive badges. But if you're strictly just going to be using this build for the twos, you should be absolutely fine. Now, with a 72 steal, just like my 6'1" build, you unlock every single steal badge that you can get. We get bronze glove with a 72, we get interceptor, and we get bronze right stick ripper. Very, very solid badges to have on a 6'3", especially with a 6'9" wingspan. And now, as you guys can see, we also have a 62 interior defense. When you're going to be playing on the twos court, especially on a small guard like this, it is vital that you have some interior defense so that you can't just get bullied easily. And in times that you will have to protect the paint, which happens a lot for the twos court, it's not going to be just you getting easily dunked on or harassed in the paint. And that is why I decided to up my interior defense with my leftover attributes as much as I can. And honestly, overall, for the defensive aspect of this build, I think that this is very solid and honestly removes any potential weaknesses that a small guard build could have had on the twos. Also, since we're talking about this now, I just want to stress the fact that just because you can see all the badges on the right doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to have all those badges at that level. So sometimes I feel like it's more important to up your attributes instead of solely just focusing on what badges you can unlock at what tier. And right now, just by looking at this build as a whole, I know that I can comfortably score. And even if I was to make a mistake, turn the ball over, or miss a shot, I can also say that I can comfortably play defense, and I'm confident that I can get a stop. But as you guys can see for the physicals, we have an 80 speed. This is also what gets us silver hyperdrive. And here we went with a 91 acceleration. I feel like for a small guard build like this, you still need to prioritize being very quick, very explosive. So I think at least a 90 acceleration was good, and these are all the badges that you unlock with that as well. Strength we already spoke about. Make sure that we get this to 45, like I said, for bronze clamps. Vertical at a 70 works well with that driving dunk, like I said earlier. And we have a 99 stamina, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is our 6'3" all-in-one guard build. It can do anything. Can shoot, finish, play make. You can also play comfortably on defense and get stops. And overall, you also have a wide arsenal of badges. Before we carry on though, let's quickly review the build and see any potential tweaks that we can make. And like I said earlier, feel free to comment down below as well what tweaks you would make to this build to better cater towards your playstyle or just for your own preference. This 83 driving dunk was purely for silver precision dunker. However, if you're not actually going to use dunk timing, there's really no point going to an 83. You can easily go down to an 82. And now that we've put that down to an 82, look at the possible attributes that we can now increase. We can even upgrade our interior D a little bit more, and we can also up our strength finally to a 45 so we can get bronze clamps. So I think 82 honestly isn't a bad option for this as well. You could even go a little bit lower if you really wanted to. If you don't think you need an 82, you can go down to a maximum of 80, and honestly, this is probably the lowest I would go. And if you do end up choosing to lower the driving dunk all the way down to an 80, you can probably lower your vertical as well to a 65, and then after that, you have a lot of space remaining. You should have a few more attribute points to put around somewhere. I would probably up my pass accuracy up to like an 80 plus if possible. Otherwise, I can probably put some of those attribute points into my defense, maybe max out my interior, for example. Mid-range shot, once again, can be brought down to an 84 because now you only need 84 for Gold Midi Magician. And as soon as I bring the mid-range shot down, look at all of the different attributes that we can now increase. I would probably try put the pass accuracy up to an 80 at least. Or if not, look at what that opens up for our defense. We can up our interior or our perimeter or our steal, even a little bit of block. And honestly, besides that, I don't really see myself tweaking anything else on this build. Maybe I could lower the acceleration from 91 to 90. And then see what else I can put up. Stamina, like I said earlier, could also go from a 99 to a 96. But if there's definitely anything that I need to upgrade on this build, strength is the #1 priority to 45. And then pass accuracy as well will be the second. And then I'll probably just see if I can put anything else on my defense. And you have a pretty much near perfect build. And as you guys can see, we have made shades of Kenny Smith, Darius Garland, and Damian Lillard. And we have made a shot creating 3-level threat. Thank you guys so much for watching. 2K24 is only a few days away from dropping, man. I am very, very excited to once again grind a brand new 2K game. Hopefully this game will last, and hopefully, you know, the community is bigger than ever. Whether you're a player that's just going to be grinding the game, if you're a content creator, or maybe if you're someone that's new and you're joining the 2K community for the first time ever, I wish you guys all the best. I hope we all have a fun year together, man. I honestly can't wait. But anyway, thank you guys all so much for coming through once again. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace and take care.